to the Homemade Podcast of Sports with your host, Jay Pops. Guys, those are my apologies. I'm sorry that I took so long to get to this podcast, but I was trying to make sure that everything was right, man. My little pad, my little filter pad for my microphone, it started going all out of whack and stuff like that, man, and all kind of other sorts of things, man. But anywho, without further ado, we're back, people. We are back. And on this latest edition of the Homemade Podcast of Sports, who will be the next Johnny Manziel, Mike Evans, Von Miller, and Myles Garret, or better? Also, Natty, could it be? Could it be? So, like I say, guys, on this latest edition, we will be getting into some things because I really want to know this. I want to know this, man. And the reason why I said this here is because of this here. Just think for 1 second to yourself. What if we could get what if we can get somebody to step up to fill the shoes that those guys left? That's the reason why I said that, because of this here, man. And us A&M fans know, because we have spoke about this several times. Who is going to be the next Johnny, the next Mike, and the next Von and stuff like that. And the reason to why we say this is because of this here. Can you imagine if all of those guys that we speak of can have someone step up and fill their shoes in the same year? You got to understand that Johnny was the first round. Mike Evans was the first round. Von Miller was the first round. Myles Garret was the first round. And that's and let's not forget our offensive lineman as well. Luke Matthews. Picture all of those guys in the same season. Okay? And it kills me that I don't know a top cornerback right off the top of my head that I can think of that went first round from Texas A&M. But I can think of a linebacker. I can think of the defensive end, in which we're continuing to pump out because the Marvin Leal is about to go in the first round as well. So can you just imagine if all of those guys were on the same team in the same year? That is what I'm saying. Picture all of those guys, man, in the same year on the same team. Just for one time in your head, picture that. That would be insane, and that's why I wrote on there, Natty. Could that potentially lead us to a Natty? Could that potentially lead us to winning the SEC West and the SEC in general? Could that potentially lead us to the playoff berth? Things of that nature. But before I get into all of that, I don't know if you guys have been on Twitter or not, but I was on there today, of course, and I'm on there every day. It's just I can't stay on there all day, every day like that. So I'm on Twitter, and of course, I'm following Bobby Taylor, and I'm also following others like Donovan Green, Evan Stewart, all of them, Cam Dewberry. So Bobby Taylor runs across the Twitter again. This is what Bobby Taylor puts out. Drop the mic. I'll say, oh man. So if you guys don't be on Twitter and don't follow Bobby Taylor like that on Twitter, I will tell you this here. That guy dropped the mic so many times in 2021 for this 2022 recruiting class and said, hey, we got another one. It's a shame. So he dropped the mic again. All I can say is that on tomorrow, man, look, tomorrow can't get here soon enough, because tomorrow is going to be a really big day, and it's going to be an interesting day. If he dropped the mic like that, that means that means that A&M just received somebody that is already signed. I do not know who it is, but we will find out on tomorrow, and we will go ahead and go from there, man. All I'm saying is that, just like I told you guys before, this is the best ever recruiting class, period, in the history of the sport. But I don't even much think that he dropped the mic for just only that. I think he dropped the mic for somebody that's 50-50 out there, in which a lot of people gave up on. Also, the last time, which was on last year, those guys had dropped the mic like that as well. We seen somebody, decommit from Georgia over there. We seen somebody flip from Georgia and come and be a part of A&M, in which he's already on campus as well. So, man, you guys got to watch out for a lot of this. And also Cam Dewberry. Cam Dewberry said, man, wait until y'all see what's going to happen on National Signing Day. I mean, just like I said, man, this class here is a very, very memorable class for Texas A&M, period. But it's going to be remembered because of the simple fact of that we literally witnessed these guys recruit themselves. We literally sat up there and witnessed Texas A&M signees go out and grab other players and have them commit to the class. Okay, so that's going to be very, very memorable, man. And that is so crazy. So, anywho, guys, let's go ahead and get on back into it. So, and I'm going to try to keep this within the time frame because I'm looking at you guys' average time of watching the videos, and it has gone up significantly because it was at about 6 or 7 minutes or so at first, but now it has jumped up to like about 9 minutes. So I'm going to try to keep this, as short as possible. For the guys that are watching live, I thank you all for tuning in. And for the ones that have, dipped back out, due to work and stuff like that, hey, I do understand. So trust me, this video will still be up. So you guys can go back and watch it and stuff like that. And I just thank all of you guys for tuning in. So let's look at some of the records that, in my mind, needs to be broken, okay? This here's what needs to be broken. Ryan Swoops holds the all-time record for receiving yards so far as his career is concerned. Ryan Swoops had over about 3,000 yards. So the record right now for Ryan Swoop is 31-17. All right, he has about 24 touchdowns. But Ryan Swoop, like I say, holds the record for the most receiving yards throughout his entire receiving career. If you keep on going down the list, and it's crazy that Josh Reynolds, and that's why, Josh Reynolds, he made that statement. And I heard him when he had made that statement. But Josh Reynolds, and it's crazy, man, because we've had some real good wide receivers out here. So Josh Reynolds is number 4 on an all-time receiving yards list for Texas A&M. He has about 2,788 total yards. That's his record. But check this out. Josh Reynolds has about 30 touchdowns within his entire career. That's crazy to me that Josh Reynolds isn't mentioned. So I'm going to go ahead and mention them right now. If we can get a Mike Evans, a Josh Reynolds, and a Ryan Swoop on that field in this generation of football within this decade, that is set up to be a national title offense. That's set up to be a most points scored type of offense as well. That's what is so crazy. So I'm going to say this once again. If we get a Ryan Swoop, a Josh Reynolds, a Mike Evans, and this here's the cherry on top, because this here is the little bonus, and a Christian Kirk, because Christian Kirk is number 3 all time. So that basically lets you know that Christian Kirk lived up to his 5-star potential. I wish we could have used him way more, but he lived up to his 5-star potential. And Christian Kirk left Texas A&M after 2 years of playing football with 2,856 yards, 26 touchdowns. That's a lot, man. That's a whole lot. So if we could get those guys at the wide receiver spots, in which I believe this is the reason to why Jimbo Fisher went out and recruited those wide receivers like he did. He wants somebody to step in and break some of these records already. Because most of the guys that he has, they're highly rated 4-star and 5 stars. So he wants someone to come in and break that record already, man. That's why I say, man, it's going to be it's going to be a really good season this year, and I cannot be amped up for a season so much. Just like how 2021 was, because the fans were allowed back in the stadiums, man. That's how much I'm ready for this season to start. But once again, though, Ryan Swoop holds the all-time record for receiving yards, 3,117. Christian Kirk. Well, I'm sorry. Let's go down the list. So Ryan Swoop is at 3,117. Jeff Fuller from 2008 to 2011 is at 3092. Christian Kirk from 2015 to 2017, only 2 years, people, 2856. Josh Reynolds from 2014 to 2016, 2788. Terrence Murphy from 2001 to 2004, 2600. And Mike Evans from 2012 to 2013, 2,499 yards. And until this day, Mike Evans is in the NFL. He now has a Super Bowl ring, and he's continuously breaking records in the NFL as we speak. So Mike Evans was just about as good as, he turned out to be. He was a true first-round pick. So I just need you guys to understand that. So this is the reason to why Jayden Watermeyer is so high as well. Jayden Watermeyer right now is number 15 on the all-time receiving yards list. And that's from 2019 to 2021 with 1,468 yards, 16 touchdowns. No, he didn't have a good season last year. Even Jayden Watermeyer knows that. But this is the reason to why he's looked at so highly on that draft board. And I believe that Jayden would either go first round or highly second. I honestly believe that. So let's continue to look around on some other things here, man. So passing. This is the all-time passing yards list. And shout out to Kellen Mond. A lot of people still going to say, he has stayed there forever. So what? Kellen Mond is number one all-time passer list from 2017 to 2020 with 9,661 yards, 71 touchdowns, and 27 interceptions. That's crazy to me, because if you would have told me that Kellen Mond only threw 27 interceptions within all of those years, I would have looked at you crazy. I actually did not know that. But Kellen Mond holds the all-time record, 71 touchdowns, 27 interceptions. Kellen Mond will also go out on a high note as being the only QB in the last decade to lose one game. I'm going to say that once again. Kellen Mond will also go out on a high note as being the only quarterback to lose one game in a season. Okay? So it is what it is on that. But Johnny Manziel, of course, he also broke a lot of records, and this was from 2012 to 2013. He went out on a bang, of course, man, with 7,820 yards. Okay? Once again, he's 7,820 yards, 63 touchdowns to 22 interceptions. So Johnny football was darn good. And of course, man, we just want that playmaking ability. All right. So let's continue to go along here. Let's look at some more records. And I hate that they don't have like no defensive record. But this is also what we're looking for, another record to be broken, which is running the football, man. So these are the last guys to break that record, and nobody has come to breaking this record here. So Darren Lewis from 1987 to 1990. That's how long it's been. 5,012 total yards, 44 touchdowns. That's what 44 touchdowns running the ball. Travion Williams is the only guy that's up there from the last decade, from 2016 to 2018, with 3,615 total rushing yards, with 34 touchdowns overall. After that, Isaiah Spiller is 7 on the list, and which is why Isaiah Spiller is getting so much praise as well. But Isaiah Spiller from 2019 to 2021, 2,993 total yards and 25 touchdowns to be exact. to end his career as he is now off to the NFL. This is another reason to why Isaiah Spiller gets looked at so much as well. So if you continue to go down the list, man, and look, that's a big shout out to Jimbo Fisher for helping Travion Williams get up there to be third all time, and for recruiting Isaiah Spiller to where Isaiah Spiller, he comes in and he's number 7 on the list. So that's all courtesy to Jimbo Fisher and what he's been able to do so far as recruiting. So that's why when you look up, we haven't signed a 5-star running back yet, but I guarantee you that we are more close than what we've ever been. Look out for next year, because I believe that we will get a 5-star running back to sign with us at A&M. That is so crazy to me. But we will have our 5-star running back sooner or later, man. I'm sorry. This so crazy to me. Once again, we will have our 5-star running back come next year. Believe what I'm saying. So Caruso 15, this is just coming out there. I'm always surprised at how many yards Travion got, considering our O-line wasn't very good while he was there. That's true. That's very, very true. So the thing about Travion was that Travion always had a different style of running. And Travion Williams can turn on the jets whenever he needed to. And once Travion got an open field, similar to what A-Chain does, nobody's catching him. Nobody is catching him at all. So that is the similar difference to where Travion doesn't really need an offensive line to give him that much help. But if he does have an offensive line, that's dangerous. That's very, very dangerous, man. So, yes, Travion's going to Super Bowl this year. I'm sorry, I did not give our Aggies a shout out. So, shout out to Von Miller, LA Rams making the Super Bowl. Shout out to Bobby Brown on the LA Rams as well for making the Super Bowl. Shout out to Travion Williams for going to the Super Bowl. And I believe it may be one more, man. I know that's not all of them. I just know for a fact that is not all of them. So you got Bobby Brown, Von Miller, Travion Williams, and it has to be somebody else. Or do we just only have 3? If we only have 3, then that's fine. Man, I cannot think of who else should be going. Who else is in that Super Bowl? It's not coming to the top of my head. But those are all of your those are your guys in which I feel like, man, we're going to have to break some of those records there. I hate when they don't put the defensive records in here. Man, I hate that. I hate that. Okay, yeah, so it is just 3. Okay. Say also 2 more crystal balls for Shamar Stewart to the Aggies. Man, look here. When signing day comes up, we will talk about this on tomorrow, of course, as well, because it will be a really big signing day episode on tomorrow, man, in which it's 3 guys out there that Texas A&M really, really wants. Regardless if you guys think the positions are full already and et cetera, et cetera. Those 3 guys, they want Shamar Stewart, they want Harold Perkins, which is a major push and get for us. And we also want Jacoby Matthews. Anybody who thinks that we left the Jacoby Matthews camp, where you're telling yourself a lie. I'm just going to tell you that much, okay? We have not left the Jacoby Matthews camp. We are still there. We're in the running for him still. And we're making Jacoby a priority. We're making Harold Perkins a priority. And we're making Shamar Stewart a priority. We want all 3 of those guys. Why? Because the class that's already signed, they even want those guys more. So they want everybody who they basically went out and put a target on. And we have got just about 95% of everybody who we put a target on and made a priority. That has never ever been seen before. I'm not going to say in the history of the sport, because Alabama gets whoever they want primarily. But this time around, it's a new team that's rising up in the rankings. And that's Texas A&M University. So, hey, man, get used to it. So once again, man, can somebody come in and take over the spots of Von Miller, because we have been missing the Von Miller? I believe Edgerrin Cooper can step up and make that noise. Believe it or not, I honestly believe Edgerrin Cooper can step up and make that noise. On the defensive line, it's so many names to mention. That's why I say you can put a Myles Garrett or the Marvin Leal on the same team together, and we can just totally wreck shop. Somebody fills those two positions and let everybody else do what they have to do. I feel like Shamar Turner is another first round pick. And what you guys are going to see this year, you guys are going to see Shamar Turner heavily this year, man. Seriously. So he will be a fool. He will be a darn fool. So I believe that's going to be the guy that takes over that DeMarvin Leal spot, and you will see a similarity right there. But he also has some Myles Garrett in him. So all I'm saying is, man, sit back, be ready for the season. It'll be a very, very good one. But before I leave the podcast, this is what I will say. I was online, once again on Twitter, looking around. In Miami, the Miami feed popped up on my latest post. And this was the Canes. I don't know if this is the Canes Barstool or what. I can't remember. They had on there the games of the season. They had all the games checked off as a win, as if they're going to go undefeated this year. They had on there A&M undefeated. So this is what I will say to Miami, because a couple of those guys are starting to talk as well. They're starting to do a little crap talking. If you guys think you're going to walk into Kyle Field and get that win, and what you got a dub on there for that win, well, you got another thing coming. I just want to let you guys know that to all the Miami fans out there, you got another thing coming. Also, you got another thing coming if you think you're going to get Shamar Stewart. No. We want everything. We not only want the state of Texas, but we want the state of Florida. We want it all. I told you before the recruiting started, and I told you before the season even started, we're coming for everything. I meant what I said. The recruiting was one. That was one thing that I can check off my list that I was correct on. Number two is the season when it starts. We haven't seen that yet. I told y'all that I wasn't bull stuffing. I wasn't bull crap. We want everything, man. We're greedy. We are being the Vikings of the SEC right now. Only problem is that the games haven't started playing yet. So of course we'll see. But once again, remember what I said. Texas A&M is your new Vikings of the SEC, which means we're coming to take everything. Alabama has the gold. We want that gold. Georgia has the national title. We want that national title. We're coming for everything. Also, Alabama has the SEC crown. We want that crown. We are coming for everything, man. We are Vikings this year. Believe what I'm telling you. So, to Miami, if you're listening to Miami fans, once again, if you guys think that you're going to come into Kyle Field and take that win, you have another thing coming. You can say everything you want to say about, well, Mississippi State came there and took a win. You guys can say that all day long, all you want to. But make no mistake about it. Mississippi State was the only football team in 2021 that was able to walk into Kyle Field and take a win. They won't get another. They will not get another. You better ask LSU. When was the last time they won at Kyle Field? You better ask Alabama when the last time they won at Kyle Field. No, I don't mean to sound cocky. Because a lot of you guys are going to let me know that. Oh, you trying to be cocky. If it's cocky to you, then that's fine. I have no problem with it. But this is what I will say. You're not going to come into Kyle Field and take a win, buddy. You're not. So understand you wrote that win on there. I hope you got your white out. Because you're going to have to white that out and put an L on it. Arkansas, they have been talking crap to them. They won the game last year. So I had to fall back on what I said. I said a lot of things. Ole Miss, they took a win last year. I had to fall back on a lot of things. LSU, they took a win. I had to fall back on that. I already told you about Mississippi State. Make no mistake about it, 2022. We're coming for all four of those teams. Fifth is Alabama. But not only them, we're coming for the entire schedule. We don't want to lose no games. Nobody likes to lose. And we don't want to. We want to go undefeated. That's just that. So, once again, you better get your whiteout ready. Get the little strips, because they make the strips now. You don't have to buy the whole bottle. They make the strips. You just draw a strip on them. Boom. white it out, put your little L on there. Nobody would never know. That's that. But once again, National Signing Day comes on tomorrow. The episode will be out tomorrow. I told you guys I was back, man. What you guys think I left? I told you guys I was going to be back. So just be ready for it, okay? But I love all of you guys. Let me go ahead and get on up out of here. I love all of you. Hashtag Giggle Maggies, baby. I'll be back on tomorrow. That's an early episode at 11. For the guys that's listening, please continue to hit that subscribe button. All right, so let's get these subscribers up. We're at 11:05, and it's been at 11:05 for the longest. We want to double it. All right, so I love all of you guys. Hashtag Giggle Maggies.